When we travel through grasslands and deep forests, mountains and valleys, along the streams and rivers, we come across many plants, small herbs and huge trees, deciduous plants and evergreen species. There are more than 250,000 species of plants recorded all over the world. It is just impossible task to study all these plant species without their classification. It is very difficult to identify and assign a particular plant to a specific group. Classification is grouping together of the species having similarities and separation of each other depending on the differences they exhibit. The general classification of plants is based on 4 parameters. In this video, we will learn those characteristics which help to assign different types of plants to a specific group. I am Sudhakar and you are watching Science Knowledge with Sudhakar. Plants are the living organisms having the capacity of photosynthesis. Usually they are anchored in the substratum, so they have to complete their entire life cycle where the spores or seeds germinate. They have absorptive nutrition. That means they absorb only water-soluble nutrients and they cannot engulf or chew just like as animals. Their cells are covered with cell wall, which makes their body comparatively rigid. Such group of organisms having photosynthetic ability, anchored nature, absorptive nutrition are called as plants. Plants can be classified on the basis of 4 characteristics, and we have to observe the plant gradually through these observations. So firstly we will observe the organization of plant body. So plant body may be differentiated into root, stem and leaves, or it may not be. If the body is not organized, then such plants are called as thallophytic plants. So they are included in the group, the division Thallophyta. Their body is not differentiated into root, stem and leaves, so they have only thallus-like appearance. Such plants include 2 broad groups of living organisms. The one having the capacity of photosynthesis. They are called as algae. Algae are preferentially aquatic and their body is made up of gametophytes. That means each cell carries a single set of chromosomes, that is n number of chromosomes. The examples are nostoc, the cyanophycean algae, and Spirogyra, the chlorophycean member. The second group of Thallophyta are non-photosynthetic plants and they are called as fungi. As they are heterotrophic, they are dependent on either living organism or dead material for the source of nutrition. On this basis, we classify them as parasites, that is, they grow on other living organism. For example, Puccinia, which causes the disease rust of wheat. The second group is called as saprophytic fungi. They preferentially grow on dead organic material, say for example mucor, which grows on the fruits and dead bread. Their body is made up of filaments called as mycelium or hyphae. The third group is actually symbiotic association between algae and fungi, and they are called as lichens. For example, crustose, foliose and fruticose lichens. They grow on bare rock like as white or pale green patches. So this is the first group, unorganized plant body. If the body is organized and differentiated into root, stem and leaves, then we will observe the second character, whether the vascular tissue is present or not. If no, the body is without vascular tissue, then the root, stem and leaves are called as root-like structures, stem-like structures and leaves-like structures. That means true root, stem and leaves are absent as the vascular tissue is absent. Such plants are included in division Bryophyta. Bryophyta members are the amphibious plants. So they are also called as first land plants. But then also they require water for completion of most of the period of their life cycle. So preferentially they are aquatic plants. Their body is made up of gametophyte, a dominant phase. Sporophyte is present, but it is dependent on gametophyte. The examples are Rixia, the liverworts, Anthoceros, the hornworts, and Funaria, mosses. If the body is differentiated in root, stem, leaves, and the vascular tissue is present, then we will observe whether the flowers are present or not. If flowers are absent, these plants are included in division Pteridophyta. They are mostly land plants. They are characterized by a compound leaves which are called as fronds. As the leaves appears like as a feather, the name is called as Pteridophyta. Pterido, which means feather-like. So these are feather-like plants. Examples are Pteris, Selaginella, Lycopodium, etc. Now we will turn towards flowering plants. If the flowers are present, then we have to study the nature of ovule, whether the ovules are enclosed or not. Now firstly see the plants having the ovules which are naked one. Such plants are called as gymnosperma. Sperma is a seed and gymno means naked. So these are the plants having naked seeds or naked ovules. Structurally, they include the shrubs, trees, and climbers. They are perennial and woody plants. Their body is a sporophytic body and they produce gametophytes which are dependent on the sporophyte. They produce flowers, but the flowers are non-attractive and compactly arranged without sepals and petals. So colored floral parts are absent and therefore their inflorescence is called as cone. The best examples are cycas or the conifers like as a pinus and Netum, etc. The second group of flowering plants having enclosed ovule are called as angiosperm. So again the angio means closed one and sperma means seeds. So these are the plants having closed seeds. Structurally they include herbs, shrubs, trees, climbers. They include seasonal plants, perennial plants, and they occupied all possible habitats. Now at present condition, angiosperms are said to be most successful plant groups. The flowers are mostly attractive and they are loosely arranged to form either solitary or different type of inflorescence. The ovules are enclosed in ovary wall and therefore they are most successful plants as they have high rate of seed set. The examples are Mangifera, that is a mango tree, onion, maize, etc. So in this way, only on basis of the four characteristics, we can classify any plant to a particular group, that is particular division. So this is a brief classification of plants. On the basis of flowering, we group them as cryptogams, that is non-flowering, and phanerogams, that is flowering plants. On the basis of presence or absence of vascular tissue, we have two groups. Non-vascular plants include Thallophyta and Bryophyta, whereas vascular plants include pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and angiosperms. Now note that the groups which are present on the right hand side are more complex and more evolved as compared to the group present on left hand side. So in this comparison, the Bryophytas will be more evolved than Thallophyta, but they will be primitive as compared to pteridophytes. Similarly, at present, angiosperms are considered to be most evolved group of the plants and comparatively other groups are primitive. But the angiosperms have again an arrow on the right hand side. So they are evolving and we do not know what will be the further form of the plants. So this is all about plant classification. If you have any doubts, then please comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe the channel. Please like the video and share it with your friends. Thank you.